Hey gang, I am not using the microphone. I am just using the mics on the GoPro Hero 5 and the Session. We'll be using both of them for this video. What are we doing? We are setting the cam chain tension. And to set the cam chain tension, the process is as follows. Rotate the crankshaft around until you're on top dead center on 1-4, and then you want to rotate. You should be able to see the T there, right through this inspection hole. You should see the T. You want to take the two rocker caps off for number 1 cylinder. Make sure that they're floppy. If they're not, rotate it 360 degrees and check them again. You want to be on number 1 cylinder, top dead center, compression stroke. And then you want to rotate the crankshaft forward a little more. I'm holding the flashlight with one hand. There we go. Rotate it a little more and you will see right there the spring perch. Rotate it around until that spring perch is just forward or to the right of the timing mark, so that the left side of the spring perch is in line with the timing mark. That is what the climber manual says is the perfect spot to put the cam chain so that you can set the tension on it. Now we're going to switch over to the Session and commence to adjusting the cam chain tension. So stay tuned for that. Okay gang, we are on the Session 4 and we're going to first loosen. You'll see my socket come into view. Need to turn the wheel, hang on. There we go. You'll see my socket come into view and it's going to come down and go over the 10mm bolt. Oops, I need the 12. I've got the 10 on there. Sorry. Okay, I've got the 12. We're going, you see the bolt down here, and we're on the forward side of the engine, just above the oil filter. We're going to break loose that 12mm nut. And you want to listen very carefully to see if you hear something that sounds like spring tension releasing. So it's good to be in a quiet environment. Okay, that takes care of loosening the jam nut that holds the cam tensioner rod in place. Now we're going to loosen the 10mm, and here's where you listen. I heard something move. Okay, if you hear something move, very good possibility that you are done. That's all you have to do. But in the event that you do not hear, or you're just not sure if you heard or not, you can then go to this nut right here that I'm pointing at, that nut right there. Take that nut out. That nut gives you access to the spring and the rod that actually tension the chain. You will then use, you can see this wire I've got showing you here. Take that wire and send that wire down through that hole and push down. You're going to have to feel around so that you get into the hole of the spring, the center of the spring. It's a compression spring, and get down to where you're touching the top of the tension rod and then push down. While pushing down, you want to then come back down and tighten your 10mm bolt down, and don't over tighten it because it's a steel bolt going into aluminum. and then you come back and tighten your 12 millimeter nut. Then replace that nut or that bolt, and you are done setting the tension. You have to do this on an engine that has been warmed up. So once you get that done, put your timing cover back on, put your tappet covers back on, and you should be set and ready to go with a nice quiet chain that is properly tensioned. That's it. I hope this is advantageous to those fellas with the 354. The 404, I believe, is the same way as this. The 500 and 554s, I'll go ahead and move the camera out now. Hi guys. The tension adjustment for the chain on the 500 and 554s are right back in that area right there where I've got my wrench, right in between number 2 and 3 cylinders. So there you have it. That is how you set your timing chain or your cam chain tensioner. And again, make sure you're on a warm motor. You want to put the engine at top dead center on the compression stroke for number 1 cylinder. Rotate it just to the point where the left side of the spring perch is lined up with your static timing mark. Then proceed to change or to pop your set bolt loose. And like I say, if you're in a noisy environment and you're not sure if the cam chain tensioner actually did what it's supposed to do, you can then take the bolt out of the top. It's another 12 millimeter, I believe. Take that bolt out and push a pin down through there to convince that cam chain tensioner to go down, and then retighten your 10 millimeter and then come back and tighten your lock nut. So that's it. That wraps it up. That's all there is to setting the cam chain tension on your CB350 4-cylinder. And like I said, should be the same for the 400. It will change to the back side, the carb side, for your 500s and 554s, but the process is the same. There you go. That's your friendly neighborhood Zippo. If you would please tickle that like button for me. We're getting ready to work on a lawn boy. We'll see you in a minute. Zippo later. I'm out of here. So let's see how the bill runs now. Ruh-roh. Now that cam chain noise is a lot quieter than what it was. So I'll call that a win. There you go, guys.